Hey everyone, this is Derek here with something new on my channel, PUBG mobile analysis and commentary of Indian YouTuber MortaL, who has been exploding recently in popularity. He asked me to provide English commentary for his videos because they are in Hindi and he's wishing to increase his audience. So definitely check him out in the video description if you haven't already. Be sure to subscribe to him as well as myself because this will be the first of many videos that we analyze. So you can see here that his squad is camping potential bridge campers. The zone is pushing up to the northwest. He knows that anybody who dropped or migrated early game to Military Island for loot is going to have to come back this way. And they are hoping to catch those who are hoping to catch those on the bridge. So kind of trying to outplay the campers. So they're talking right now about why somebody might cross the bridge or why they might cross the water instead of the bridge. They notice the vehicles coming up behind them looking to potentially slam that compound. Very good for denying access to the bridge. Now they did see them, so he also noticed somebody over by the bridge appearing from the water, so they had to take that guy out first so they didn't get third party by him. And as a result, it looks like there's only one member of that squad from the bridge, so they knocked him, and instead of going for the finish, they are going to engage this squad that crashed this compound. So you can see here that he was using a DP earlier, DP against vehicles for the extended capacity, that 47 round drum. However, for pure DPS engaging others, that's why he has the AKM there, which is going to be an even better choice after the 0.9.0 global update, where the horizontal and vertical recoil of that AKM is reduced. Now, many people don't realize how effective the DP28 is at range, and this is an excellent example of it. Now, when you're prone, it deploys a bipod, which greatly reduces the recoil. However, with a 6x scope, hip firing in small bursts. Now, why does this work? Because it's an automatic weapon, you might ask. Well, that's because the rate of fire and the DPS is lower. However, this makes it more controllable to fire off bursts of 2, 3, 4 shots, as you'll see here, or even single shots at range. And that 7.62 hits pretty hard compared to the 5.56 of something like a Mini 14 or even an M4. So definitely look for more AKM play coming up. I know that's already a favorite of some of the pros on scene, and after 0.9.0 expecting it to be even more so. So the next zone comes in, they're going to have to rotate to the west. They notice that there is a vehicle behind them. They're going to go ahead and try to engage it. However, if they're not shooting, you'll notice that they're not sticking their heads out the window. This is a mistake many people make, and well, if you're sticking your head out the window, you're much more likely to get knocked. Now, you can get shot through the vehicle too. However, good practice is only if you're engaging should you be sticking out of the vehicle. So they're going to go ahead and crash into this barn compound. It's near the middle of the next zone, and that's why they're rotating here. And they are going to play aggressive. So notice he does have the DP out. I'm a little surprised he wasn't going with the AK there. He probably had the DP still selected from the vehicle when they were driving in the vehicle for that extended capacity of it. However, you can see that aggression there pays off. The squad that was camping this compound was split up. It's pretty common to do like 2 and 2 versus 4 people in the same building. He's just trying to climb up onto the roof here to get a better vantage point, using that U as a little ladder there. And he's able to get a very interesting perspective from here. He does have to be careful. He is exposed on his back. He'll have to watch if any squads try to rotate into the circle later. Now, the 3 members of his squad are currently pushing up. Now, I'd imagine that that guy in the corner he just knocked from this awesome position was their third person peeking the window and waiting for his squad to roll up and potentially engage them. So by staying back there, he was able to get an angle on that guy who was third person peeking most likely without having to expose himself. Now, unfortunately for his partners, they don't fare as well because, well, there were people just snaking around in the grass. You guys know that third person perspective. Snakes, oh gosh, snakes are a powerful strategy. So here we go. You can see he has switched back over to the AKM for the higher DPS of it, and he's able to knock out but not finish that guy. So you're very, very tempted when you knock someone else out to finish them. However, against these like Conqueror Pro players. You don't want to do that necessarily because you're leaving yourself open, you're exposing your position, you're not able to rotate. You'll notice that MortaL almost always changes position as soon as he engages someone. Even if he doesn't get a knock, he'll never stay in the same spot for more than a few seconds because he knows that these players are that good that if he stays still, they're going to rotate, they're going to flank around him, be able to potentially get behind him, and then end his chances at getting that chicken dinner. So his teammates are still frustrated about the fact that they were killed and then thirsted by those in the grass, but that can happen, and it's unfortunately kind of the nature of third-person perspective. So MortaL is all alone now, not a position you want to be in. 15 left alive, 14 others, and well, it's a squad match, so you could have 3 or 4, or almost 4 full squads still that you have to deal with. So we'll have to see what the player spread is, but the next zone has been revealed, and immediately he goes for the rotation, goes back to that Dacia, which they did hide behind this compound, and they're going to have to do their best to try to clinch this with just MortaL. So you can see he is boosting up. He has plenty of gas. This is a pretty late circle. I can't imagine using a vehicle after this next one, so that's why he's not afraid of burning that fuel, just trying to get around. He knows there, he sees a Dacia by the trees there. He knows that there are people over, his teammate calls out guy in front of him, knows there are people over in that forest who could be engaging him, so he decides to slam into one of these compounds. The Dacia does crazy things. He's able to fortunately get inside this building and come up behind these guys, uses the AKM again for its higher DPS, is able to take out 2 of them in quick succession. Unfortunately, they were almost lined up there, and again, aggression pays off. So it's pretty common to see somebody with like an AK and a Kar 98, or an AK and another bolt action or a Mini 14, but he's using the DP28 with a 4x or a 6x for those longer engagements, which is certainly an interesting strategy, but one that's working out pretty well for him. So now he knows that there were people in the forest who are going to have to rotate to his position, so looks like he might be going to try to deny them. He does get the knock, but not the finish on that guy across the compound from him. So you can be almost certain that that guy is going to be revived, although his armor is going to be damaged, because he got a couple headshots there, so I can damage a helmet pretty quickly. So now he's third person peeking around, trying not to expose himself. He's just going to hole up in the little corner here. Now he noticed a snake in the grass. So it was within render range of the grass, but he's able to knock out Kosh there and is able to finish off that squad. So once he got the kill there, he noticed that green smoke from the other player that he had just knocked, and he knows at that point that there's nobody from that squad left alive, and most likely nobody else in that direction, because, well, the zone's small enough that if there was somebody else in that direction, they most likely would have engaged each other. So he can be fairly certain, I said, at least from like the south, or let's see here, about the southeast or so, he should be clear. So now he has switched position again, looking in that same window, gets another nice headshot, and another knock. That means that that guy's helmet's probably destroyed. So unless he can find another one in that compound, or they have crates from people maybe they killed in that house, he's not going to have a helmet, which is not going to be a good position to be in when MortaL ultimately tries to rush him. So he throws in a molly there, but starts taking shots from the south. So evidently the south was not clear. Maybe somebody was running around the outside of the circle. He's going to have to hole up in this corner, third person peeking. He hears people to his north, hears shots to his south. Now, potentially the people north of him, one of whom he had knocked, that guy's probably back up, and maybe they're engaging the guy to the south now with the suppressor. So it is getting intense with only 7 other players left alive. So you can see the next zone is closing. Next zone, a hard shift to the west. Fortunately, he is in it, but there are still a ton of squad members still alive. So from this first floor, he decides maybe throw a frag grenade up into the second floor, lets it cook for a couple seconds, tosses it in, and gets a knock again. He gets a double knock, actually. He gets a double knock on that squad. So 2 members of the squad are down. One of them definitely doesn't have much armor left, or at least not a helmet. So he decides to push up the stairs. However, because there are more than 2 people, he decides to use the DPs. That was a full squad wipe there. Because like I said, there were more than 2 people. He knew that he might run out of bullets if he started spraying with the AK. So instead, he decides to use the lower DPS but higher capacity of the DP. Thinking he might have to retreat spray for a few seconds. He can always switch over to the AK anyways if he needs it. But very, very interesting to see the gun selection choices here. So he sprays off a quick burst of a few rounds with that DP-28, able to control the recoil very well, get some shots on that guy who was rotating to the west, and gets a nice kill. That was an instant kill, I believe, so that was the sole survivor of that squad. And now there are only 2 players left. So is it, he doesn't know at this point, 2 solos or maybe a duo versus him? But he's going to wait a third-person peek again behind this house, looking for where these players might be. They throw a Molotov at him. It connects with the stairs there, but not with himself, so he's taking no damage, fortunately. His armor has about half health each, not the best position to be in. He notices movement in that window there. So here he goes. He sees the air guys getting ready to throw something, so he throws a nade instead. I don't know how that doesn't knock him. Maybe it went a little too far into the building there, but it looks like that other player was going to either nade or Molotov the second story where he thought he might be. There goes another nade, not going to connect because he's on the opposite side of the structure right now. So he gets a nice shot in there. I don't think that was a headshot, but he gets a nice shot with the DP through that window then, again using the third person peeking. That's so important. He knows that there's nobody to his north or east or even northwest at this point because he killed the last guy rotating into the zone. And the next zone is closing pretty symmetrically on the center of the current one. So he sees more movement by that window. He knows that's where they still are. He's not exposing his position. They know where he is on the other hand too. But he's just going to wait for them to move and try to engage him from there. He still has the DP. We'll see if he switches back to the AK for the greater DPS or not. But here we go. The zone is closing in. They're going to be forced out of that house pretty soon. And we'll have to see if MortaL can secure that chicken. So he sees one player up in the little balcony there, first story balcony. He gets the knock. Now he knows that it's a 2v1 situation. Now it's currently a 1v1 because that guy did not die instantly. So he still has the DP out. He's looking around for where that last player is. He jumps. He sees that he too is over on the balcony there. He jumps again. And now that player jumps out of the building, unfortunately, and the MortaL is able to quite easily finish him off and secure the chicken. So there you have it, English commentary and analysis by DerekG on Soul MortaL's video. Thank you to MortaL for the opportunity to cast these videos. Definitely look for more of this sort of content in the future. If you have any suggestions for how we can improve, definitely let me know, and we'll definitely take those into account. But hey, it's something fun, something new, and definitely excited to work more with MortaL. So my name's DerekG. If you enjoyed the video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to both my channel as well as MortaL's. And I hope to see you on the battlefield soon or in my Discord server, which I'll also leave a link to down below. There you go. You can see that he was currently 5th. I think he's 6th right now, but he's top 10 Asia squads, third person perspective, very skilled player, has over 500 games played on the season, very, very legit, and like I said, definitely just excited to see where this goes. I hope to see you in a future one soon.